Hello YouTube, it is me, Raina. So we're fresh off of Comic-Con. If you have not seen my previous videos about Comic-Con, my predictions, and basically what I thought of the Marvel stuff, you can click on the previous video. Now let's shift over to DC. And, I'm just gonna, give my, opinions of DC, not just about Comic-Con, but basically the whole history of it, with Warner Brothers and DC. Because, this year at Comic-Con, they only showcased 2 movies, but they've have more on the pipeline. Batgirl just finished. I think Blue Beetle is done. They had, something leak about, the Joker movie. Lady Gaga might be Harley Quinn. Who knows? There's some other stuff going around about movies, and we know some controversial stuff has been going on, too. But, they had enough to really satisfy their fans, and they only showcased 2 movies. And yes, Black Adam looks good. I really enjoyed Shazam, but it really shows how far DC has fallen. When you compare it to Marvel, DC has, to me, yes, Marvel has dominated this recent, 10 going on really 15 to 20 years, but really DC has had a long hold, on pop culture, on, the American masses for almost nearly a century. You go back to the 30s and 40s, you had the Superman serials, you had the Batman serials, in black and white on the radio, and then they went on, TV with the, classic Adam West Batman, TV show, Wonder Woman, the legendary Wonder Woman TV show. You had the Superman movies with the iconic Christopher Reeve. You had the Batman movies in the 90s with Tim Burton, the animated Batman show, which is still legendary. It brought up Harley Quinn, who is the most iconic characters. It's insane to me. And they have to me, some of the best, villains than Marvel, really, when you think about, the Batman Road Gallery, the Flash, Superman, Wonder Woman, Green Lantern, the list goes on and on. And, in the recent time, you had the Christopher Nolan movies, the Robert Pattinson movie, they're trying to do something with Superman. It's so interesting to me on how they cannot make it work. And to me, and I keep saying this, and you look at my past videos, they were rushing it. And, they were in the public consciousness for a long time. People knew about Batman, Superman, and, Wonder Woman and everything. And they've, seen that over and over again. And I guess you can attribute it to it being rebooted so many times, Robert Pattinson, is the 20th Batman. And, we had so many Superman, even not just in the movies, but on TV with, now Superman and Lois. You had Smallville, and you had Lois and Clark back in the day. And like I said, the Superman serials in the 30s and 40s. It's really interesting on how it's been rebooted on the stuff. Whereas with Marvel is something new, because when they started out, they did not own everything. That's the thing. They didn't own they didn't own Spider-Man, X-Men, and the Fantastic Four. And those are crown jewels. People in the popular culture, in the pop zeitgeist, knew those characters. No one was checking for no Iron Man, no Thor, no Captain America. And, it's really interesting to me, looking at Comic-Con, and even someone Winston Duke, who plays M'Baku in Black Panther, can do his chant, and the audience repeatedly responded back to him. Nothing of that is happening for DC at all. Yes, The Rock had, the whole thing with Black Adam and everything, but, even now hearing, we won't see Black Adam and Shazam, or even vice versa. It's what is going on? What is the slate? What is the release date? Because Batgirl and Blue Beetle are done. They're done filming. It seemed to be smooth sailing. No, no drama here, no controversy here. Why not showcase them there? Is there going to be a Supergirl movie? How was the girl in Flashpoint, It's just interesting to see how, DC, they're getting it together, but it's, like I said, with the controversies of certain movies and, certain people, and, even if you push that aside, still they're trying to really get a hang of it. And like I said, they rushed. They dived in it too much. And people saying that Marvel is rushing, but they had to really take their time because no one has done this before on what they did. And so 10 years, is enough time to gain the audience's trust and to gain fans and popularity and be emotionally connected to these characters to where they can really, come out with all these TV shows and movies and everything. Whereas DC, they rushed into this very, one note idea of what they could do with these movies and trying to reinvent characters. And not just that, like I said, they rebooted these characters too much, especially Batman and Superman. You could say, well, what about, Spider-Man being rebooted and Fantastic Four? Yes, you can say that, but those are like separate, Genesis. Whereas, we had so many Superman, so many other stuff. And, Marvel, like I said, we only have one person who played Iron Man, one Captain America, one, different things. And, I really want to see, DC succeed. And, they're kind of struggling. I mean, they've been struggling for the past few years, honestly. And they don't have a person up there to like a Kevin Feige, a lead producer basically, to basically showcase, what's coming out this year and next year. Let's have a trusted team of people, because it's not just Kevin Feige that's doing this for Marvel. He has a trusted team of producers and people to really shape out this universe and to really be like, okay, we're doing this movie because we're going to do this movie. We're doing this TV show because we're going to do this movie and do this TV show. Like, they're building out different facets of the universe. I don't know what's happening with DC. And why do you think every single movie studio and every single studio wants to do a universe? Because, Marvel did it, but then they rush into it. Remember the Dark Universe? That came and went. And they had big movie stars with that. And now Netflix want to do it. They all just want to rush into it and get their billions and go. Where Marvel had to, really slowly get there. You can't just, and they didn't even have their heavy hitters at first. For the first 2.5 phases, they didn't have Fantastic Four, Spider-Man, and X-Men. They built their billions off of what they had, and that's unheard of. So, I'm hoping for DC. The Batman movie was good. Like I said, I really enjoyed Shazam, and everything, but they're gonna have to really prove it to me. So, what do y'all think about DC? If you push the controversies aside for certain people, what do you think they can improve to get the trust back in their audience and by YouTube?